Golfers, let's fix your lower back pain in under 5 minutes. It's one of the most common issues in golf, and most people who come for a lesson say, Alex, I've got a bad back, when I ask them about injuries.
Yeah, most people that come in the gym also say, I have a sore back, so we know it needs sorting out. So obviously people will have individual issues, and if you're looking to fix something like this longer term, there are more things that go into the pot, things like core strength, lower body strength, glute strength. But we're talking about a really simple hack that we can do now on the tee, on the range at home, because this is a very common thing that you see in lessons and that I see in golfers when they set up to the ball.
I think it's a misconception as well. That's
100%,
where I think it
it's a
comes from.
misunderstanding of how to set up in posture. So if you set up the ball for me, Alex, and when you're giving lessons, or whoever the instructor is, a lot of the time in that old school methodology will be stick your arse out,
like that,
bend over to the ball. And then what we can see from Alex here now, and he's obviously exaggerating, but he has this huge dip here towards the lower spine. You'll feel like the bones at the bottom of the spine got very close together, quite compressed. It's just not very nice. The musculature that sits around it over contracts to keep you in position, and that's where we get that tightness and that dull ache over time.
And I think if you're doing that at speed, don't forget, you're moving back and moving through. So you're not only trying to feel like it's an uncomfortable place, but you're doing that at speed. Imagine I've got my 7-iron here, but you do that with driver as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you're expecting to hit a good shot from that position. Your body's got to manipulate itself out of that position to get back to where it should really be.
So the misconception is sticking the bum out, and then this part of our lower back is then sort of under pressure.
And that's typically where we get the longer term aches and pains from. You know, if you were to walk around in daily life like this all day, it would hurt. So what we need to do is get people out of that position.
How are we fixing it?
And that's what we're going to do. So I want Alex to use his iron. You can use a driver, you can use a putter, you can use anything. You can use a broom at home. You just need something to grab onto. So I want you to pull that golf club into your hips where your belt would go. It should be a natural groove where that sits quite comfortably. And then you're going to bend over and the club will pull into you even more. And you should find a natural point where actually it's quite comfortable and you don't need to keep bending anymore.
That's about right.
Yeah, and then what we can find here is we've now got neutral. So if I borrow the club, one sec, Alex, you stay there. If I run this down the back of your spine, we've got a nice neutral spine here. If I get you to make the position you were in before, can we see how we get this gap here in between you and the club where I can easily get my hand in?
So
and that's the one we're avoiding.
I think for a lot of people, I'm conscious there. I'm feeling like you talk about the bucket of water with your hips.
Exactly.
I feel like I'm tucking it this way, almost in towards me, not out in front of me.
That's exactly right. So the pelvis, if we were to imagine the pelvis as a bucket of water, in the wrong position, we'd throw all the water on the floor. In the correct position, we'd tuck the water into ourselves.
Yeah, and a little tip that I would say if you came for a lesson with me to stop this sort of lock is I feel like I'm sort of pulling my belt buckle up towards me as I sort of get over in this position.
Yeah.
So it's like that, and then I'm sort of pulling that in, and that gives that look like Nat just said there with the lower back, just all nice and flat. Now I think that's a really quick win that you can use with all of your clubs, whether you're hitting a pitch shot, a putt. In fact, it's even another area that's going to be absolutely influential to you rocking that putter better, but also with your irons and your driver, a really quick win. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell.